Only Kanata votes Sora. I think this is going to be a mistake.
Well, maybe he knows something we don't,
That's
Sora.
the only thing I can guess.
Like, when was the last time Sora played? He played in the Kesper Cup qualifier. He did pretty well for himself.
It's almost 2 months ago, though.
Yeah, it's a while ago. The last Pro League game he played was 3 months ago against Stats, and he lost that. So, been a while, man.
Yeah, he lost to DRG in the SSL qualifier. He lost to some weaker players. He lost to Zone. He lost to Trap when Trap wasn't doing well. The players he beat recently are just also not top tier. So I think that was his only Pro League game, right? Okay, yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's it for this year.
3-7 in total as well. Some of the games we saw him play were really good last year. He played some smart matches, but this guy was much more famous before Pro League. He's like the hipster Sora. It's like before everyone knew that he was good, and now he's not good.
It's like the weirdest kind of hipster to be, man. Like back when he was good, no one knew it.
I was good before I was cool.
I was good before anyone knew it. It's like that's everyone's story, man. Got some funky style going on.
SOS has a lot more experience. He's had a rough season. He and Zest both are like 50-50. He's 2-4 versus Pross, and this guy is just like, he's loving his hidden expansions, his hidden Nexi.
He's kind of gone to the gimmick side of things when it comes to StarCraft. Like, maybe he's just not confident in normal play anymore like he used to be. And yeah, he's just like, well, I'm just going to try crazy stuff because I just can't seem to get it back.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping he does get it back one day. Maybe this could be the start against an opponent he's highly favored against. Seems to be a bit tired today. Maybe not the best condition, but he did just take a win against Keen last week.
Nice little pick-me-up win there. Put a smile on your dial. See if you can do it again against Sora. Same sort of caliber of player. So you should be expecting this win.
We'll see. I expect it. Only Kanata does not. Let's jump into this game. Let's see if CJ can get a 2-0 lead or if SOS is going to tie it up 1-1 here on Echo. Down here in the bottom right in red for CJ, the underdog, Sora.
Up here in the top left for Jin Air, it is SOS, the trickster.
The illusionist Protoss.
The illusionist.
Likes to use his hallucinations.
The hallucinator.
Hallucinator, I like that. You ever play the Kingdom Hearts series?
No.
I didn't either, actually. But I think there's the name Sora reminds me of that series. I feel like one of the main characters' name is Sora. I wonder if that's where you got it from. I was going to ask you like if you knew anything about the character, if it was like Sora at all.
That's like the one with Disney characters and stuff, right?
Right.
I didn't like that
idea.
idea.
It's like Disney cross Final Fantasy.
Yeah, not keen. I don't know why. I just like see that. I'm like, I can't take it serious enough. I need my games to be dark.
I heard the series is actually very dark.
Really?
But I haven't played it, so I don't know.
I haven't either that.
I only played one game, which was for the DS, but it was like a prequel or something. It was like 365 divided by 2 days was the name of it, but the story seemed like really deep, and I was like, oh, I wish I knew what was going on, but I don't, and I stopped playing it. But it seems cool. It's one of those games I'll probably go back and play one day.
Interesting. Man, I can't remember the last RPG I played. Probably Baldur's Gate 1. I played the have you ever played one of those games? I
played Baldur's Gate actually in the GOM house with a few people. I think QXC was one who told me to get into it.
Oh, man. Well, they redid it. They remastered it in HD and stuff, so I went back and played it again and loved that game so much. I'm a nerd for those old school games.
Well, it looks like we have really similar gateway timings here, gas timings as well, so no rush tech and no scout for Echo. That goes a map where you can scout late because you know where your opponent spawns. So you can go after that, that core gets started. Much faster core for Sora, despite the fact their gateway is finished. Looks like SOS kind of messed up his timing for that a little bit.
Maybe just being a little bit more greedier.
You did get a probe first, I guess, instead. So
yeah, he's committed a lot more chrono boost to his probes than Sora. Sora, you know, he's sitting at half, 60 actually energy. So they're probably going to use that on his gateway, and his Nexus going to be getting out that mothership core early.
Yeah. All right. Chrono Warp Gate research, actually, which is scouted. I think you might be seeing a 3-gate or something. I don't think this is a mind game. It's a very expensive mind game if so.
Well, it certainly is a big committal here. And SOS sees it also is like, huh.
Will he Chrono again? Keep a close eye on that. I'm really curious about that. Because the probe's gone now.
Stargate goes down.
Okay. So I guess just a fake out.
Bit of a fake out there. I like that. I appreciate that.
It's expensive, but you know it can freak your opponent out a little bit.
I'm freaked out. I mean, like, what is going on?
No. That would stress me out. If I saw that, I'd be like, well, I know what he's doing. But in this case, actually, I'd be totally wrong.
Yeah, you'd think so. You'd be ready for that early gateway, so you have a number of units out. Then an Oracle comes in, and you've just lost so much.
Yeah.
Twilight behind it as well.
He's kind of going down multiple paths here.
He's freestyling, man. He's going crazy.
Well, his probe gets scouted over here. He keeps it there regardless, and he's going to bring the Stalker over to kill the probe that saw it.
Dark Shrine.
Dark Shrine?
SOS.
And I almost feel like Sora might also add his own Dark Shrine.
Maybe.
With that probe over there, it gives me the feeling that he might, but he's not using it just yet. In fact, going 3-gate instead.
I think it might just be waiting to put down aggressive pylons. I think that might be the idea behind it.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely too late now. He's missing a big window. Blink is on the way. I think you're absolutely right. He's going up here to put a more forward pylon so he can do that follow-up blink attack. But with no detection other than his Oracle.
Oh, he's lost another probe on the map. Gonna have a hard time getting DTs out now.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have a good way to detect this with just one Oracle, but he's gonna straight up see it right now.
Straight up, gonna fly into it and be like, oh, hello.
He's also, with this, going to be like, oh, okay, and he's going to have plenty of time to repair, and with no forward pylon, like you said, SOS is going to be hard-pressed to make this work. He might even want to consider getting a Nexus, but he can't even really do that because he committed to so much tech. He has a Robo as well.
Well, here's the interesting thing as well. Like, Sora scouted it. His reaction is to do nothing.
So, he just got a late Robo.
Literally. Like, if he loses this Oracle, there goes all his detection. So if we actually saw the committal to DTs on the map, like, it could possibly do a lot of damage. There's no detection, just 3 Stalkers blocking the ramp.
Yeah, it's a bit lucky for Sora that he's not going to actually commit to even a single DT. Wow, good point. Stalkers, I mean, three Stalker on the ramp with no sentry behind it is just it's only going to last you a second.
Yeah, it's going to last you 4 shots, and then your base is open. And you could lose a lot in that time.
I just can't even believe we wouldn't make a sentry. That's crazy. That's, I guess, either just extreme luck or some game sense I don't understand.
Just like next level confidence that no pylon was on the map because he killed that probe with the Oracle.
Yeah.
On the way to his base.
Oracle has killed only that probe, by the way, but
it was enough to save the day, essentially.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It was enough to save the day. It didn't do any eco damage. It scouted so much, so. Well, this observer just barely sneaks in. That's pretty big for SOS because they really come in and see exactly how far along the tech is. See that Twilight Council is researching counterblink or anything like that.
Yeah, gets a good see of everything that's happening.
All right, Stalkers are moving across the map. There is an Immortal out though. The Oracle, it's got very little hit points, so could try to like focus down the Immortal shields with it. But, I don't know. We've seen this work before. Let's see what happens. Okay, just going to tag instead.
Some revelation.
He could blink into the main.
He could right now. It'd be a great opportunity to do so.
Just going to go for the Immortal because he sees it's out of position.
Ooh.
Doesn't get it. Second Immortal soon to be out. Well, not that soon, actually. It's only about a fourth of the way done.
I kind of like what he did right there, though. You know, he triggered a photon overcharge. Got Revelation and everything. Immortal took some damage. Applying some pressure while he gets everything up and running.
Yeah.
Behind in supply. Down 10 there.
Forges going up for both players. Faster for Sora, though. Sora playing this very well. He's down in probes because his Nexus was a bit later. And he's missing that Immortal tech. Now going to the faster Robo Bay. And give him faster Colossi, but still these Blink Stalkers haven't done anything too dramatic just yet. In fact, he's got counter blink, so he's got to be really careful with those.
Trumping 1.
So very few units lost this game, as our observer just points out. 2 Stalkers and a Probe have died. That's it.
A lot of Immortals being committed to from SOS as well. And he's going up to 3, I think, before he starts to switch into Colossus.
Trying to snipe an observer almost here, it looks like, if that detection is gotten. I'm going to kill this cooling tower early on, which will allow him to take third base. It also gives the indication that he might be taking one soon, as he is actually instead powering up a ton of gateways. 4 more gates. With all these Immortals and all these gateways, could be very aggressive.
Yeah, I think he has to be with this much commitment. And it makes sense why as well, because he has 3 Immortals. So like behind this, you can essentially just all in off it. That's so many Immortals for this early on. You want to add them maybe a bit later after you have a lot of Colossus, but not this early, really. Just going to expand behind it there.
Yeah. I like that. The Immortals are in such a good position here. The Stalker's going to walk right into a trap. He does survive with all of them, but the Blink is chasing. Ooh, 1 for 1, actually. That was really well played by Sora. All things considered to be able to micro that. Oracle.
Immortal being added, by the way.
Yeah. The Oracle's still threatening over there. I'm going to keep in mind. 4 Immortals. It's going to be a Colossus behind. He's committing to all those gates, but decides to just take a base of them instead. +2 on the way faster here for Sora, who's now going to finally take out his own cooling tower. He's got the larger Stalker force on the map right now, so not much SOS can do in the way of moving out. Getting his own charge, something that he's getting a little bit faster than Sora. We haven't seen Sora add that yet. Now he does it as I say that. Just another revelation here because he sees the Stalkers in the cannon. Well, this is going to be one of those games that looks like where we're going to see the game decided by maxed out battles rather than early decision-making, getting players ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how many Immortals SOS committed to before, transitioning into Colossus even. Just deciding to... I guess he was maybe really afraid that there was going to be more aggression from these Stalkers. Like maybe even more Stalkers were going to be warped in and some real commitment to it was going to happen. But it just never did. So he's left with 4 Immortals, which is going to be great addition to like a big Colossus army because they're going to obviously DPS them down very quickly.
Yeah, in the late game, it's incredible to have that many. You're going to want them. They're even decent against Archons because they have so much ranged firepower. And if you ever start to win a battle and the Immortals are actually able to shoot those Colossi like you're saying, it's like they fall so fast.
Yeah, they can take some hits for sure.
We're going to see Archons first here for SOS. Starting to add those in right away, in fact. So he's building the late game comp as he starts to realize that no attacks are coming his way. Chrono Boost being spent by both players here on the +2 pretty evenly. We are going to see a Fleet Beacon added here first for Sora. Something we've seen him add a lot of in the past. Like he loves his Tempest in PvP. He likes to add it early.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I like that. Considering they did get that nerf, they're not as efficient, but they still are a great late-game addition. Players are a little way off getting maxed out there, but adding this early on, if you can get away with it, could do a lot.
If he gets scouted, though, like SOS has a lot of potential to hit this third base hard while Sora is trying to transition into that, because that's an expensive transition. All the gas you pour into the Fleet Beacon, plus the second Stargate, then double Tempest production.
Well, here we go.
He's going to go for an attack here. I think he's realized something is off.
Something's fishy. You don't see any real forward pylons there. There we go, another one going down. Maybe he wants to wait for that so he can start reinforcing during the fight, but he has a pretty big supply lead right now.
Yep, a lot of it in Army. 2 Archons in this, and all those Immortals for that extra firepower. 5 Colossi to 3, though. The problem is Sora needs to fan those out. can't have those all stuck together like that. They're not going to be able to be properly utilized. That one Colossus is attacking a photon cannon. He doesn't want that.
That time warp is insane.
It's really, really good here. He needs to warp in more units. And those Colossi are just not able to fan out and do their damage. They're attacking Zealots, which are right on top of them. And those Immortals are getting dangerously close. The Nexus Cannon and this warp in of Zealots will push it back, however. For now, 2 Tempests do come out. If they can get some good shots up on these Colossi, it could be a game changer.
Well, there's like no NEL left over, which is perfect for Sora right now. He's just got to get them in position and start wailing away on these Colossus. It's going to either force SOS to commit to a fight or to retreat.
If he can get actually vision with this Oracle on this, I don't think he's going to be able to stick around. That's vision enough.
That's it. Gives away the Tempest on that pylon, and it is going to cause SOS to turn back home.
He's working on his 3rd and 4th Tempest as well now. And it's a bit awkward for SOS because if he wants to get his own Tempest, it's going to take him a long time.
Yeah, this is fantastic for Sora. If he can just hold on for a little while longer, catch up in supply, he's got a better army.
Yeah. It's like he's slightly vulnerable if he moves too far out on the map, but as long as he plays defensively here, I almost don't think he can lose this.
Well, his composition is going to be better, right? And he's even going for a mothership. Wow. I like it.
This is Sora in a nutshell. Like, he's going to do something a bit different. He's going to play his own style. He's going to play his own way. And like whenever you see Sora play a PvP, Sora's the one who looks different. He's the one who's like, no, actually, I'm just going to rush Tempest here. It's kind of expensive, kind of risky, but I know how to do it.
He's got his own ideas about this matchup.
Yeah.
I can definitely appreciate that, but he is on a timer. He's got to hit, while that 4th base isn't really up and running, he's got to try and get to the get to that maxed out army so he can stand a chance against SOSs. If he gets there, he's got the composition, but it's getting there is a problem.
Armor's on the way here for SOS, which is interesting, rather than the +3 attack. Because we don't see any additional upgrades coming out of Sora. He doesn't have the gas with this expensive mothership and all these Tempests he's building. Colossi are soon going to be obsolete, even with the nerf. The Tempests just have so much range that they can pick those Colossi out from so far, and they still do a lot of damage to Colossi. So he needs to make something happen soon. And switching into his own Tempest, it's going to take so long. He's going to have to buy a lot of time. He's going to have to use this big Cross army for a while in order to achieve that.
It's going to take him a while for sure, and there's actually enough Tempest at this point to one-shot a Colossus. So just about having them in place, getting that Revelation down so he can pick them away before he takes that big fight. He's approaching max as well. He has scouted out that 4th base, so he knows he's down a base, and he has to make that move soon.
Sending some +2 Zealots even into that base to try to get some damage done. Look at this. More of them are coming in.
Wow,
and this is going to force a reaction.
That's a big commitment, actually. I guess it gives him some space.
Thing is, I feel like with the composition that Sora has, SOS can't just attack into him. So like, he can afford to do this because it's not like SOS can be like, all right, you just made 8 Zealots, I'll kill you now.
Yeah.
You can't really do that. Only kills 7 probes, but any disruption is a disruption.
Gives him more time to make up that death ball.
SOS is switching to Void Rays, and I kind of like this. But he's going to need a lot of them. He's going to need like 12 Void Rays. No, he's going to need more than that. There are already 8 Tempests on the map. I didn't even realize there's 8 on the map. That's so many.
Yeah, but he's going to make his move soon. He's finally taking his 4th base. Uh-oh, looks like
Stalker's going to get caught.
I don't know if that's a good thing because there are Void Rays on the way, as you said. He needs all the anti-air he can get. I mean, Tempests are good, but there's a lot of Void Rays out as well. Could get a little bit harder.
You know, the real answer to Void Rays is like just getting Archons underneath them. If you can do that, the Void Rays don't do bonus damage to Archons. Archons do a lot of splash. Void Rays have a tendency to stack. The Archons do a lot of splash damage. The Tempest at the back finish them off.
That is true.
If he can get those Archons underneath, that's what he wants to do. Stalkers, if you want to fight Void Rays with Stalkers, you're going to need like at least 5-to-1 ratio Stalkers to Void Rays in the late game. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be losing Stalkers though. You're absolutely right. Not against the Void Ray count that's being built right now.
He might want to try and make his move soon as well. I mean, while he's even in supply essentially and he's up in a sort of composition, you might as well try and take it.
Yeah, I mean, even a small count of Void Rays is going to help out quite a bit. He's going to have the +1 for air faster. He's going to have +3 in just a second here. Still kind of going down the same path here, obviously. +1 shields on the way now for Sora.
Oh, I mean, like, Sora should take that fight because his army is just perfect against what SOS is doing.
Yeah. Before the Void Rays are ready, especially, it would be great.
He's kind of getting pulled around by these Zealot run-bys and whatnot there.
And Tempest armies are very, very slow.
Purely based by time as well, you know, because that's all SOS really needs to do is to buy time so he can get out of counter to this army. And I think we've seen, what army have I seen being made before to kind of try and deal with Tempest? It might have even been Void Rays last time I saw this happen. I remember Zest going for this style on Deadwing against another Protoss, and he just couldn't find the answer to it. It might have even been SOS trying to find the answer to it.
I just remember last time I saw this type of style, it's like against this Tempest, it was a mass Archon style, like almost 20 Archons or something, and it still just wasn't enough because they just got picked off and the army positioning was too good. He was always able to try to pick off the observers as well. He had a problem getting observers out to deal with the mothership because of the way he was playing it. I think this fleet beacon for SOS is to try to get like +2 for air or something. I don't think he's actually going to try to catch up in Tempest at this point.
Yeah, that would be a big gamble. Maybe for a mothership.
That too.
Yeah. Still, either way, it's a hard army to fight against. I'm really interested to see how these Void Rays are going to fare against them. Sora just taking his sweet, sweet time with this. He's down a base once again. Yeah. But doesn't seem to care too much. He's just content with making that army, and here we go.
All right, going to start fighting, and if you hesitate, you're going to get shot like 12 times by these Tempests. You cannot hesitate in this moment.
Oh, look at that. Colossus taking serious damage.
All right, where are the Void Rays? They're hidden right now. I'm not sure where they are.
Yeah, they're just behind the army.
To the north, okay.
Going to give up his base. Not a bad idea, considering he's got an extra one anyway.
He can't make any more Void Rays until he loses units, though. This is pretty tense. I'm really liking Sora's position. Like, every time you try to move and spread your Colossi, you try to move your army, you just get blasted by these Tempests. 11 of them, you know?
Straight up.
One Tempest is going to take a while to deal with Zealots.
Wow. Sora just turns around.
He, like, literally he, like, 1-8 his entire army back to deal with one Zealot.
That killed his robo facility. It's pretty funny.
That's not good. How many observers does Sora have on the map? Can you check that for me?
He's got about 6.
6. Okay, so this isn't going to be something he's panicking about.
No, he's pretty healthy.
Observer speed is out for SOS as well. His observers are flying pretty quick. He's speedy.
He's even throwing down cannons in the middle of the map.
We've seen this before in late game PvP just because it slows down movement. It gives you vision. It can kill observers, which sometimes can cost players the game.
Yeah, he's playing for the late game. That's for sure.
All right, still at that 9 Void Ray count. Not able to get any more than that. His Archon count is 11-7 in Sora's favor. I feel like SOS's Colossi are almost meaningless. He has more Colossi, but what are they going to do?
Not too much. I mean, it is a pretty big ground army for Sora. That it makes sense that you want at least something against him, but when you're fighting this many Tempests, like, they're not going to last long anyway.
Starting to see players throw probes away to get that better army size, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're not seeing Sora maybe trying for that middle left base that he's so close to. He knows it's there, he just hasn't decided to commit to it, even though he's scattered out exactly where SOS's army is.
He's just like not that concerned about money in general. He's had this bank for a while, which isn't a big bank, and SOS is starting to finally now build a bigger one. But he's just always kind of been like, yeah, that's fine. I'll stick with a smaller base count. +3 for these Void Races on the way now for SOS, as well as now 3 or more Archons, not 4. So building that better Archon count, which is so important.
Look what Sora's doing. He's just constantly putting 4 cannons down. Get ready for this big fight. Doesn't want to commit to anything. He just wants to commit to a big fight under cannons, essentially.
He's pushing very carefully, very slowly across the map. One thing he's just not doing is denying bases because his army is so slow that I think he's worried that if he gets caught out of position committing to that, he might be in trouble, but he's now finally going to do that.
There we go.
Oh, these Archons, so many of them are going down. SOS was not in good position.
Yeah, really out of place.
He needs to, like, that's not where he wants to be. There's like the last place where he wants to be with all those units right there. That is not where SOS wants to be. Like with all his Colossi bunched up on a cliff where they can't even come down. That's like the only advantage he has in this game is his Colossus count, which is arguably not much of one.
No, he's pretty hard-fetched to realize a good counter to this army. He's got that Void Ray count, but I'm not buying it, man. I don't think that's going to be nearly enough.
It's too small.
The Archon count is 14 for SOS now. Sorry, not for SOS, for Sora.
Sora. And I gotta say this, like, banks mean nothing in Supreme late game PvP. What are you gonna try to remax? You don't have enough gateways, first of all, if you're gonna try to use gateways. If you're gonna try to remax and Void Rays, you don't have enough of that either. Plus they take too long. You can't press W and warp in 9 Void Rays after you lose your army.
No.
You can't do that. So
this is going to get picked apart, essentially. It's going to happen when they finally fight. You're going to see Sora be able to like retreat to cannons and keep volleying at this army.
This cannons just give him such a buffer. It gives him time to get ready to fight.
Here come the Void Rays. And they're on their way down.
+3 for them, about to finish. Just one of those PvPs moves later at the 32-minute mark.
Yeah, man. It's just one of those long, drawn-out ones. Mothership finally finished now. Probes getting stacked. Probe fight.
Notice how he doesn't actually go to kill his opponent's probes. He doesn't want him to have that max. They're actually going to refuse to fight each other. Kind of funny. +1 air armor now on the way for SOS. All right. Observer going to die in a weird way there. And Archon kills him. Actually, supply blocked right now with SOS. Okay. 34 probes to 34 probes. They're dead even in that regard. They know exactly how many they need right now.
Another nice revelation. He knows where everything is. It's pretty bunched up. Pretty vulnerable place, actually.
Yeah, I think this is a terrible position. But it's because he's been pushed so far back by this ranged army of Sora. I want to point out that Oracle is the same Oracle from the beginning of the game, and he's been using this entire time.
Yeah, man, that's like a 25-minute Oracle right there.
Well, a few more warp gates being added. I don't think it's going to matter though. This game will be decided simply by one fight. That's how late game PvP is.
Well, yeah, they're gearing up for it. This might be it, actually.
I just don't think this is a good. I can't imagine any good fight for SOS. I just can't.
No, not with this army.
If his Void Rays are on top of the Tempest, guess what? They're also on top of Archons.
A lot of Archons.
Like 14 plus Archons.
I think like 16 now.
16 Archons.
16 Archons.
It's a catch-22. You want to be on top of those Tempests, but you don't want to be on top of those Archons, and they're on top of each other.
Yeah, well, he's got to make sure these Colossus get the shots off they need, try and whittle them down so they can get to the Tempests.
It's almost like these two should be sniping observers right now, or something.
Yeah, they really should be, but oh, look at this.
Certain to happen. Oh, these Tempests are a bit out of position. Oh, look at that. Cannons, there goes the prismatic alignment. Archon's hesitating a bit here, and those cannons are giving quite a buffer.
Wow, he's running for his life. Might want to throw down a Time Warp to slow this down. I don't know.
All right, a bit of a chip off here.
3 more Archons actually added in.
Yep, and for SOS, he gets a few more Void Rays. That Mothership is taking some serious hits.
Oh,
it looks like it's going to go down. That's expensive.
That is.
But when you've got 2,600 gas in the bank and over 5,000 minerals, it's not that expensive. It's just the problem is it's just simply not there. It's the time it takes to build, not the money. And here we go.
Big
Void
fight.
Rays need to get on top. But look at the Archon damage on those Void Rays. They are going down so quickly.
Oh, but they got evaporated. No Archons left over. Only Tempest to deal with the air.
And a huge Stalker Warp in. Is this going to be enough? This is such a close battle here. Tempests are so healthy still, but the Stalkers right on top of them. Here come those Archons. They're rallying in so slowly, but once they get in here, oh, there's still Colossi to help push them back.
Yeah, such big warp-ins from SOS. He had such a bank going into this fight, and he just re-maxed out on the ground army.
His ground army beat the Archons. He beat the Archons on the ground, and then his army was able to finish everything else off.
Yeah, that was the one thing he had to bank on was those Colossus just doing so much work.
And they did, and that won him the game.
That won him the game. That and the bank. Sora really had to go for like a flawless fight because he did not have the bank to back it up.
No, nor did he have the production, which is something that we did see SOS slowly add. Can you check how many warp gates he has actually now?
I forget the hotkey for that one.
It's T, and it is 17, so that's quite a bit.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
When you have that much money, I take it back. You can remax a bit.
GG.
That was a long, very carefully fought game there from SOS. I actually can't believe he was able to take it.
Yeah, that was a big one.
You almost never see, if someone builds like 15 plus 10% player, almost never loses in StarCraft 2, no matter what matchup it is.
Yeah, well, I guess if you give him enough time, as Sora did, you know, he never attacked until the very end. The bank was already there.
He didn't pressure enough with those big ranged units. He wasn't picking off bases. He wasn't forcing reactions out of SOS. He wasn't harassing his warp prisms. He just kind of moved around the map every now and then, kill an Archon or something, and then move back. He was very fearful. In fact, we saw him hesitate a lot in that last fight. And if we end up seeing an SOS interview today, which if Jinner wins, no doubt, with a game like that, he will be named MVP. I'm really curious to see what he thinks Sora's mistakes were in that game, because I just feel like he almost had the game as a shoo-in. Like, he had all the tools to win that game.
I think the simple answer is he just gave him too much time. I think when he had that composition advantage, he should have gone for it. He gave SOS enough time to go for that mass Void Ray and just have that bank with those extra bases. But I'd love to hear what SOS has to say on it.
Sam. Well, tied up now, Moonblade.
We're all tied up. And the next one's going to be Biel versus Maru.
Possibly the best match of the night.
Oh, by far.
It's the one I've been looking forward to the most.
Me too. So excited for this one. Biel has some great results against Maru.
He certainly does, and he's got a great Zerg versus Terran. He had some trouble in Star League against Classic, but this is the matchup he's famous for in recent times. Maru, many people are still saying he's the best player in the world, despite dropping out of Star League. No one can deny he's the best Terran in the world.
By far the best Terran in the world.
Too much proof.
It's too much proof. It's irrefutable at this point. Dream being the second best, but he got dominated from Maru in Season 1 of Star League.
Yep. Well, guys, before we go into that match, I'm going to be taking a quick commercial break. It's going to be about 3 minutes or so. Actually, I just got some update in here. All right, we're going to go to the commercial break right here.